Thanks, Paul. I have to get you to write a resume for me, mate. Haven't heard some of that. Can you show me how to press these buttons, somebody? What do I do? Paul, do I just press that, to get this thing working? Techno guy? While I'm waiting for that, I just want to underline where we are here. As Lester so aptly put it, this is powerful country. Now we all know, anybody here, I know, hands up, who's from Denmark? You know, this is an area a lot of us moved to. I've been here for, and my family. I've born and bred my kids here. It's just an amazing paradise, and I think any Denmark farmer will tell you, Minister, we've all got the best farm in the world, and it is. I mean, I'm sorry. We first moved here in 1988. And I had a book, still on my bookshelf, from CSIRO in relation to climate change. At the time we researched it, and we felt that the impact of climate change would be a perfect place here. Well, not a perfect place, but in terms of mitigating the risk. A special friend of mine, while Tom's figuring this out, is a Mardu elder called Darren Farmer. And Shawnee, he was in Balgo. We had the Commissioner of Police go to Newman to try to push Jigalong and Cotton Creek to get vaccinated. Melvin Farmer was there, and we introduced Chris Dawson to him. Darren was supposed to go there, but he ended up in Balgo and he had a stroke, flown to Alice Springs, and paralysed down one side. We got his wife from Jigalong there. And I just want to say, I'm not here to plug the police force, but Brad Sorrell, the commander of the Tide Command Force, got these people back into Western Australia. Custodial care of the house, and this particular friend of mine is currently. So there's Darren with his little jammer on his head and his grandchildren. There's our country on there, as you can see it, next to William Bay National Park. And so my whole life, I have I've learnt, and I have a cultural obligation to the Muntuljarra people, the Mardu people. Shawnee, your grandfather Glenn, I've known for 40 years. He taught me the Noongar culture along with Ken Colbung and Richard Wally. And I just want to start today recognising David Gulpilil, who we had some amazing times with in the 80s, who passed away on the 30th of November, and all the fallen leaders you see in this particular tribute. And I'd like to start by really talking. Sean doesn't want to say the words for his grandfather, so I'll say them for the family. We organised a meeting after a United Nations award in 2019, the Equator Awards, that Darren was a visionary of. David Kelly and other politicians were there, and Glenn stood up at the end and said, "Governments, you need to listen to the First Nations. Please listen to us." And so I'm so proud, Lester, that you're here today to spearhead this. And I will continue to provide you with this new venue, a voice to amplify your messages, my friend. So let me start. I'm not going to talk too much. I'll show you some pretty pictures, but I want to emphasise I'm not an expert of regen agriculture. I'm here to learn. I'm here to put myself out there, put my head on the block, so to speak, and say, look, we as a farming family know we have to improve our practices, but we live in such a vibrant, wonderful community here in Denmark, and I won't read you out the slides there, other than just to acknowledge very quickly Jane Kelsby, brave lady in what she's taking on right now. As conventional farmers, and I mean, I'm from the forest industry, make no mistake, it's a tough act that the McGowan government have taken on. I think unconditional belief in your systems and making a stance is what we seek from governments, and it's hard for Manjimup. I mean, I grew up there as a kid, but there are alternatives which you'll see today from people like Sean in the hemp industry, Donald Clark, Paul Llewellyn here in the audience. If anyone's interested, go and see the largest village in the Southern Hemisphere. We built it right here in Denmark. So the property here is a cattle farm. It's a 332 hectare farm with 220 breeders. I wrap silage in plastic. That's not a good thing. I run 7 tractors with diesel. I'm here to tell you now, I'm just a cattle farmer. I'm doing it over the last 20 or 30 years. We've done some good things. We've cleaned our waterways up, and we've done some good things. But we've got a lot to learn, as do all people. But what I'd like to really emphasise in this presentation today is that there are other people that we can all learn from. But fundamentally, I think the Minister spoke brilliantly when she put it to you. This is not an environmental debate. It's not whether you believe in climate change or not. I particularly know the European market. I'm here to tell you now that President Macron delivering a free trade deal for Australia right now is highly unlikely to have any success at all. Just look at a quote later on from the UK, our ally, in terms of their position with the free trade agreement we've been working on for years. The Lord who was in charge of the climate debate was questioning, why the hell would we have a free trade agreement with you guys? You're just not relevant. So I want to come back just quickly and acknowledge the Minister. I'm so pleased that you came here today, Minister. I think I love the fact you double down on criticism. You have a belief system that you stand by, and without your help in the hemp industry, our innovation here today wouldn't be here. And it's not just myself, it's Gary, the pioneer of the hemp industry. I'm a latecomer to hemp, but Gary Rogers in Margaret River with the decoordinator. There's some amazing other revolutions. Just look at the list of things that we're doing here. But I want to really highlight the one thing. I mean, governments to me are often just bureaucrats. Excuse me, any government department people here today. I like to foster change, and I like to move at a speed of outcome that isn't process driven. But DPIRD has done something quite substantial in the last 12 months in releasing Bronwyn Blake's work on stock feeding of hemp. This work could really, really provide us, in terms of our livestock emissions, as we take it to the next level, something really significant. We've got to take an all-encompassing approach. I noted that Steve, who I'd just like to acknowledge at this point when I talk about renewable power, Steve has gone solar on his property in Stonemill in Narrackup. And he is a stalwart regen farmer. We're just on that journey now here. The word regen agriculture, to be quite frank, I don't think you know it, Minister, but you actually introduced me to the word with Charles Massey a couple of years ago. I didn't actually know what the word meant. But what I realise now is we are actually practising it. And so today you'll find out from other experts better than me really what this is all about. Look at what we can do. I mean, this is my family. I'm so proud of my daughters. They're now employing 58 people, 10 contractors in effectively a low carbon, a new approach to business. And we've only just started. If you get a chance while I'm burbling on, read this slide, the first paragraph. I won't repeat it. What I will say to you is this. I'm not willing to... a wise old man said to me a few days ago, would you rather die, I'm trying to remember his words, standing or kneel in submission and live? And so I'm here today to tell you I'm putting my head on the chopping block. We've got no choice. We've got to fight this. The last time when I came back from the UN climate debate in 2019 in New York, our leaders were playing golf with Donald Trump. They didn't even turn up. And I had a clash with an ambassador on the floor, the Australian ambassador. And this time around, I came home and I didn't pursue it. This time around, I am going to pursue it, purely for the survival economically of our industry. I'll make you a prediction here right now. I'll quote Barnaby Joyce. If we sign a methane pledge of 30%, we'll be shooting our cows. I'd like to turn that around. Barnaby, from my point of view, I mean, I rever Tim Fisher. I mean, Tim wrote a book about our family. I'm not here to talk about politics at the federal level. I think both parties have got no daylight between them on climate change, quite frankly. But when the Deputy Prime Minister represents my industry in a cattle hat and tells me that we're going to have to shoot cattle because we can't commit to methane reduction and livestock emissions, I'm wondering if maybe he should wear a hard hat, because is he really representing cattle farmers or the coal industry and seam gas? I mean, honestly, we can do this. Thank you.